Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more of the amazing race survival series. I hope that you have been enjoying. Right now we're in week 2, and this is game number 4. You can see our little scorecard down in the bottom right. Protoss not doing so hot right now. YSC and Mighty already eliminated. Yabsab falling as well. And right now we have BarrackS on a 2-win streak. Still playing strong here for Terran. Going up, though, against one of the best players that we have here today in action. In fact, I mean, the whole lineup this week is pretty insane. But action, obviously, this guy is easily a round of 8 ASL Zerg. And I think he's going to give BarrackS a run for his money. I mean, if BarrackS can take him down, amazing. But then he's going to have to play Snow. So this is like some final bosses, a couple right in a row. And of course, if he were to even be able to do that, he'd have to fight Soma. So the Protoss and Zerg lineups, they have been butchered so far by BarrackS, but what remains is, honestly, all 3 of those probably higher level players than BarrackS. So we'll see what he can do. I mean, it's a best of 1, so anything can happen here. Notice that BarrackS is putting the depot in his main base. We're on Polypoid, and the bottom right spawn is good for wall-ins against Zerg, but looks like he doesn't want to go for that this time. We'll see if that's because he wants to go for a quick gas, or maybe he just is totally fine with not walling in. Who knows? Action, in the meantime, just going to be going for a hatchery first. Of course, we see him spawning up there to the top right, so just north of the main base of BarrackS. SCV coming out to scout, and no gas. So this is going to be a standard BarrackS expansion, and in fact, he's going to scout action first, so he could do it with just 1 depot and no Marines. We'll see what his choice is as he passes that drone in the center of the map. Actually going to be able to scout him very quickly as well. This Overlord going to be peeking and making sure nothing screwy's happening. No SCV running in and trying to make a bunker or anything like that for center BarrackS, but as the drone gets up, he's going to confirm. He knows exactly what's going on. The second depot has been started here, so he will be making at least a single Marine before his expansion. That'll be able to push that drone back as well. It is a little bit annoying if you try to expand right away with a drone in your base, as they can harass your constructing SCV quite a bit. Now, where is that gas for action? Are we just going to have a 3-hatch opener? It looks like it. All right, so 3-hatch. Going to be the opener here for action. And BarrackS snags the gas. Love to see it. He's going to slow down that tech so much. I actually really like this move from BarrackS to be able to, scout action first. He recognizes that it's a 3-hatchery play, and that just slows down the gas quite a bit, right? Like, you're going to have to transfer more drones to the natural. That's more lost mining time. You're forcing him to get the gas down there as well. So, that's highly annoying for action. So much of Terran vs. Zerg is based around the timing that the Mutalisks will come out. And so to slow that down 20 seconds or so, or it's actually probably a little bit more than that you slowed it down. It's gigantic. It really changes everything, because now you don't have to build your turrets as quickly. Of course, that slows him down as well, right? He's delaying his buildings a little bit by making that gas, but trust me, it's better for the Terran in that situation. Now, the Lings catch that SCV. A little bit sloppy there from BarrackS. Now, he doesn't know if those Lings are coming across the map. Looks like he is sending an SCV down. Is it for a depot, or is it for a bunker, or is it for another scout? Looks like he is going to go ahead and send that scout right up the map. Doesn't really see anything coming as of yet, but will get his bunker start as well. And that's very good timing on the bunker. Over at Action Space, he does have the layer going. 3rd hatchery has hatched out as well, getting that drone count up really high really quickly. BarrackS does have his academy on the way, so still going for a pretty quick academy here, despite the fact he's playing against a delayed gas type of build from Action. SCV is still kind of running around being chased by these Lings a little bit. In the meantime, BarrackS pushes up with a few and kills that front spotter Ling. This type of move can sometimes force more Lings out of your opponent, so it is quite nice. The SCV continue to try to lure the Lings. I think these Marines will turn around in just a second, though. I'd be really surprised if they go all the way to the natural, because then you might end up losing them. Oh my god. He's like going so far in. If Action had made like 6 Lings immediately, he could have lost all of these Marines. A lot of times what you see is they walk a certain a certain amount of distance up, and then they turn around. And he did do that. He just went a little bit further than what I thought we were going to see. Now, Zergling's speed is almost done. Not that many Lings out, though. Not that many. So he's going to get home. BarrackS looking strong. Has his engineering bay coming up right now. Plenty of Marines here to stop those Lings from running by or anything. Medic's starting to pop out here as well. And let's take a look over at Action Space. We do have that Spire not quite halfway done. So just to put this in perspective, right? The more common play is the 2-hatchery Mutalisk. And if this is a 2-hatchery opener, right now is when Terran has to start turrets, right? So at 5 minutes, 35 seconds, that is the standard turret start time. Oh, this is hilarious. An empty bunker with 2 fire bats. The Lings can't run up. Meanwhile, he's going across the map with his Marine Medic. Oh, I love it. He's forcing these Sunkens out right now for action. This is a little bit scary. The Ling's trying to come back. He stims forward. An Evolution Chamber to block the pathing. Those non-ranged Marines gonna have a little bit of a hard time. Now, he targets this Sunken. He will be able to kill that off very quickly. And with the fire bats coming up, let's see how much he can get done. This Evolution Chamber, actually an MVP here. It's screwing up everything. Now, the fire bats getting in on top of everything as well. Targeting down some of the drones. Gets 2 right there. Gets the 3rd. And this, oh, that fire bat gets stuck. Freezes in position here. Oh, the drone's just barely getting out. Oh, if he had gotten a couple volleys there, that would have been a lot of dead drones. Still continuing to just run by Sunkens. Oh my God. This is madness, the amount of damage these couple of fire bats have gotten done. So obviously, this was gigantic for BarrackS. This Evolution Chamber almost saved action. In fact, if the 2 fire bats hadn't been stimmed up to catch up, I think that this wouldn't have gone that well for BarrackS. But now you look at this, 32 workers against 15. He's getting his turrets up. He actually, his turret count is really poor right now. So these Mutos might be able to get something done. Let's see. They go to one of the only places with turrets. So it's a little bit unfortunate that he flew in there. He might have had better luck flying in on the BarrackS. But he's knocking down a lot of these turrets. Ooh, a missed shot right there. They will fly out. He loses 1 Muta so far, but he's already killed like 5 SCVs. A few Marines here as well. More turrets going up. And of course, that is kind of the main thing for BarrackS right now. He has to just basically stabilize his position right now. Oh, I've never seen that place there. That's kind of nifty. I might steal that. But he has to just kind of stabilize because he's done a huge amount of damage. In fact, his medic's still getting the scouts off, and that is the right play for action to leave them until he's ready to clean them up, since he just needs to try to harass and rebuild that drone count. But basically, action has had to spend so much money re-droning, and he lost so much money from not having the drones. His Mutas have to do very heavy lifting from here. Like, they really do have to end up doing a lot. And I'm not sure it's going to work out. Like, we have 4 Raxes here. We do have the starport on the way. We see an add-on for the factory. So it looks like this will probably be a siege tank science vessel push. Which makes sense. If you injure your opponent this hard, they can't really do everything anymore. You know, normally Zerg can kind of do everything if they don't lose their drones. They can go Mutalisk Harass, Lurkers, Fast Hive, and a 3rd base all at the same time. But in this situation, it's like something has to give. And making siege tanks is a great way to kind of punish that, because they just won't have a big enough army to really stop you, and their defilers are not likely to be quick enough to stop the push. So we're going to see if that is how this plays out. BarrackS starts to come out of his natural now. Still this flock of Mutas flying around. No upgrades for them. No upgrades on the way either. It is a switch into Lurkers here for action, realizing that his Mutas are going to be a little bit too expensive to keep going. By the way, he did send a drone up here a while ago, but again, his economy so badly butchered by those couple of fire bats running in. This is an incredibly tough position for action. All right, the 10 Mutas flying around. They're looking to see what they can get. Okay, he loses a Muta there, getting a Marine and a Medic. The Medics are super important, but losing yet another Muta. We do have the Hive coming up. We have a single siege tank right there, second siege tank on the way. I'm not sure if he got this siege upgrade yet. Certainly something he's going to want to be getting, if not. But he doesn't have a super long amount of time. He's actually got to make sure as well that he brings a lot of units with these siege tanks, because the tanks themselves, trying to go across the map, the mutas will pick off very, very easily indeed. In fact, even sitting here, if Action knew they were here, he would dive in and kill them right now. All right, the mutas pushing these Marines back, trying to pick off what they can. And the Marines, of course, coming home for those reinforcements and to make sure that his siege tanks can make it across the map. We have to... I'm actually surprised he's making a third siege tank. This is getting to be a little bit slow for BarrackS. Generally, 3 siege tanks won't really be there before consume. You generally want to move with 2, even when your opponent's really injured. So he is starting to move out with these 2. The third one does pop out, though. So, I mean, 3 siege tanks obviously kill everything a lot quicker. But the push itself going a lot slower. The Defiler Mound is on the way. About halfway done. So BarrackS still has a pretty comfortable amount of time to go up and try to punish Action with. Now look at this. Action starting to dive on the tanks. Gets that first one. Even in this injured position, slowing the push down. Killing off a siege tank, so incredibly important. That's going to buy your sunken colonies and your lurkers a lot more staying power so that you have time to get the Defilers up. This is getting kind of funny, right? Consume is on the way. This is the clock that BarrackS is fighting against right now. Can he get his whole army up here, siege, and push through all of this before Consume is done? Because the second Consume is done, this game goes later. That's just kind of the question here, right? Like, when Consume is done, Action is just kind of going to live. Of course, his third base is very late, so he is starved for gas still. Let's see. BarrackS may be just in time. We're going to see. All right. 3 tanks sieging up. Going to pelt this sunken very, very quickly. Got to move up. You notice how he's actually spread these out a little bit so they don't take splash damage from each other. And immediately stemming forward here. Oh, killing that vessel would have been huge. But continue to push forward when the Sunk's actually hitting a siege tank here. Oh, the Irradiate upon the Defiler. That is gigantic. Defilers, of course, cost so much gas. And to lose your first one like that is brutal. You really should have made it in the main base so it wasn't such an easy target. And now BarrackS stemming forward. He may break him just before Consume just finished up. But his first Defiler died. So a terrible situation. The second Defiler is made. It comes down the ramp. It's going to start consuming. But is it too little too late? Already we've had a lot of units fall down. The vessel goes down. Okay, like, he gets up the Dark Swarm. But in the meantime, we see over here another group of bio going to that top left. Going to be able to kill that off. And, I mean, this is terrible for Action. He has lost so much. He actually almost kind of came into a position where he could end up holding that Defiler. If he had gotten... The first Defiler was, like, in the main base. Maybe he holds on to this more cleanly and then can utilize the Knights to save this. But he can't do it. BarrackS wins another.